you talk about the nervous system and sympathetic activation. And what does that mean for those that maybe aren't familiar with these terms? Like, what is the nervous system reset? Why do I need that?
I think a lot of us are familiar with the term fight or flight, right? And there's a portion of our brain called the amygdala, and that is like the fear center of our brain. And if you get a text message from a friend that is telling you that they are slightly upset with something that you have done, or, you know, something fairly minimal, and your body is reacting like you're being chased down by a bear, that is a really good example of your fight or flight being off, right? You are having a hard time regulating your nervous system and the way that your brain is reacting to fear or a negative thing happening in your life. And being aware of that is one thing, but learning different ways to actually help control that is what's much more important. And techniques like mindfulness that can be reached through meditation, obviously, but that's very difficult in today's day and age for somebody to just sit down and learn how to meditate, because our brains are going a million miles an hour. But when we use things like breath work and sound therapy and light therapy to assist us in getting into those more mindful states, it's really helpful in learning to control our nervous system and not be stuck in that fight or flight all the time.
It's so interesting. A lot of, we as a society anymore, like we move less. We're like not moving. We're staring at screens. We're not interacting with people. We're getting our food delivered to our door.
Yeah.
So not even having to go. Forget foraging.
Yeah.
Not even going to the grocery store to pick out food and make it. We're doing like all the opposite things that make us naturally make us human, right? Interacting with human beings, movement, getting our food and making our food. It feels like what you're doing here a little bit is like slowing down and kind of reconnecting with some of those things.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Definitely. And that's really what I like to tell people what Alchemy House is it's a slowing down. There's an energy in this space that is very calm. It's very relaxing. It's incredibly peaceful. And taking a moment just to slow down goes such a long way. We do live in this world where it's like, what are you doing? You need to do more. You need to do more. And I think most of the time what the majority of us need to be doing is actually less. I know I've had to learn that. That's for sure. Yeah.
It's easier said than done when there's things just flying by and, life is really tough. So I'm curious, tell me about the sympathetic mode and the body being able to heal. So recently I met with another practitioner who said, it's sort of like breathing in and breathing out. And a lot of us breathe in and don't ever let that breath come out. Like that was sort of a metaphor, but in many ways we do that also just physically too. We'll tense up. Why is this kind of release or this nervous system reset so important to healing?
Well, I would just, it's like trying to heal while you're in the middle of a trauma, right? It's like, I think we've all heard of that book, The Body Keeps the Score.
What do you offer for someone who maybe feels like, okay, that resonated with me. My nervous system probably, I do get into that like reactive state really fast. I get like I can feel my cortisol almost. Like what would you tell them if they call here and say, I don't know what to do? What would you have them explore first?
Yeah, that's hard because there's so many different options. But that's the good thing too, is because it's not a one size fits all. It's not one thing works for everybody. So I would say coming in here and just being open to the things that we offer and looking at what we have to offer and then making the decision for themselves. So I don't want to decide for anybody what would be best for them. I want to maybe have a conversation, talk to them, give them some ideas, tell them about the things that we do, and I think they would have a little kind of gut reaction or maybe a little knowing of what they might want to try, even if they sit in the salt room first, and have that relaxing experience. It's quiet in there, it's beautiful, it's, just a spot for them to maybe sit and relax for 20 minutes and then start looking at, okay, what else maybe feels right or sounds right for me after, learning a little bit more about what else we have to offer. But I don't want to tell anybody like this is going to work for you because it's so different for everybody. I think that just taking the steps and going with what feels right for each person.
Maybe come in for a tea and a chat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
And everybody's at a different level. Some people come in and they've never even heard of Reiki or they've never even talked about frequencies in their entire life, and so it's like, you maybe just need to take 30 minutes for yourself to sit and do a foot soak. Like that can be really beneficial. And the more that you kind of are here and you talk to people and, you know, you can come into this building and never do anything with any of the practitioners in the energetic sense. And there's still lots of things to benefit from here.
So you are an expert in the Lucia light therapy though. So I'm going to ask you to tell me about that. What is that?
It uses light therapy. You lay under it with closed eyes, and then it pulsates at different frequencies as well. So it goes directly from the optical nerve into the brain, and it affects the brain. And such a beautiful way where, like this meditation talk, it allows you to get in a deep state of meditation very quickly and without any work, which is nice.
That sounds awesome. Great. I try to meditate.
Yeah.
It's
hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. So this is nice because you just lay on a really comfortable bed. I pair it with the vibroacoustic sound table, so you get the energy frequency with it, and then you also get the light therapy for the brain. And the studies that show like EEG images for before the light therapy, it shows kind of the chaos, spikiness of the brain. All of us feeling that without even knowing it. After the light therapy, it just shows it all calm. So it calms the brain down without having to do anything. So whatever you're experiencing while you're laying there under the light, it does calm the brain. It doesn't even matter. You're just laying there and it's doing its thing, and it's really.
We've had quite a few people like with ADHD specifically that are like, oh my gosh, I felt so calm in that. Like I never feel like that.
Yeah. So what else might somebody seek out Lucia? Like, is it Lucia?
Lucia. Yeah. People say it different ways.
Okay. It's so interesting because I hear about the vagus nerve a lot. The body keeps the score, and you know, I guess I probably should look into it more. But it sort of feels like, okay, it kind of makes sense, but like, what am I supposed to do about it, right? Well, and so you guys actually have something that you can do about it. There's different treatments and ways to calm down and slow down in order to help. Maybe, I don't know if you can take the score away, but at least, calm that nervous system down a little bit. What do people, when they leave here, what do they say? What do they feel, or what do they experience when they leave? What do they say to you?
I mean, definitely everybody, for the most part, always leaves saying that they just feel so relaxed. I think sometimes they're a little speechless when they come out of some of their appointments with various practitioners because they kind of like can't believe the massive transformation that they feel.
I always laugh because there's a lot of times people come out and they're like, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect that.
Yeah.